Rolly, what's up, brother? What'd you think about Ryan's performance?
I think it's funny how he didn't call me out.
Are you surprised?
No.
Here, but we gotta ask, what'd you think about that Ryan fight?
I went pretty good. He did his thing.
Yeah.
It was a masterclass performance. That jab he was popping, the way he was calm, cool, collective, literally. But I love the fact that he was using his combinations, and he stuck to the game plan. You know, he just had to stay calm. That's it.
Right.
Have fun. I was yelling, have fun. Just reset. Use your jab. That's it.
Right, he landing the right hand. I mean, he was really kind of cut. I think everyone, or at least the ringside, had him winning all the rounds.
Yeah. No, I believe it was a shutout. But look, you can't take nothing away from Barrios. I mean, Barrios is a tough son of a gun. He really is.
Yeah,
Right.
champion, first champion, right? First championship belt.
Correct.
So I think he did well for the first time based on the circumstances.
Now,
Being out for a while, you know,
Right,
a little
for sure.
rusty. I seen a little bit of rust, but once he got going with the flow of it, you know, he'll settle down a little bit, and you know, him and his dad know what to do going forward.
Sean, what'd you think about that fight, man?
Amazing. Amazing. The kid looked amazing. I'm not here to do interviews right now. I'm trying to leave. I lost my ride. I'm not doing interviews.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Yes, sir.
And the moment that first bell rang, everything we had anticipated all week went out the window. This wasn't a slow, strategic battle. It was raw tension coming to life, punch by punch.
I did expect him to get back up. And I told Holly, look, he's going to get back up. It's going to be a long fight. It's going to be a 12-round fight. Barrios is a world champion. He's nothing to lose. He's still a great human being, a great champion. And, you know, he was just outclassed by a fast.
David, what'd you think about Ryan's performance, man?
It was a good performance, man. He looked good. He looked good. He had good jab, good movement, good body shots, and bro, his speed is crazy. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of good fights from him at 147. You know, this is a good bounce back from him because this is coming back from his first loss. I mean, from his loss to Rolly, and now he's a world champion again. So, you know, not only did he gain his confidence back, gain his mojo back, and now he's going to be a force to be reckoned with at 147.
Do you think Devin Haney rematch seems to be the obvious thing,
I think that's
right?
the only thing that's appropriate. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I want to see. You know what I mean? Also, you know, still got Rolly out there too. It'd be good fights. You got some good fights for Ryan. You know what I mean? So
Ryan came out sharp and focused, moving quickly and alert, landing fast combinations that seemed to come from every angle at once.
What you think of Ryan's performance? I think it was an amazing performance. Shouts out to Ryan. You're a real champ.
I got, obviously, you know, there's a lot of talk about different people that you can fight. Shakur's talked about fighting Ryan.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself in a fight with Ryan Garcia?
Man,
147?
Possibly, but look, though, April 4th, DB3 Promotions is throwing our own show in the arena. 3 black men coming together as brothers. We're brothers. Right. DB3, we're throwing our own promotion. One of the only fighters that's doing it in the game. We throwing it in the arena. April 4th, Chartway Arena, Norfolk, Virginia. It's going down.
Tonight's performance. Ryan, what'd you think about tonight's performance? Nigga, he looked crispy, looked fast.
hey, what's up, baby?
You could immediately see why Ryan's speed was such a game changer. But here's the twist: Barrios did exactly what a disciplined champion is trained to do.
What about that Ryan fight?
Yeah, I think he's a great fighter. What a great performance. Ultimately, you know, Ryan can get it next. I believe that's the plans. If he wants it, he can get it next. So yeah, let's get it done.
You see this fight behind us with Mario Barrios? Are you shocked?
I'm super shocked.
Yeah.
Ryan in there doing this big one. He on top of it, fast, he's sharp, and instincts, everything. It seemed like everything working for him tonight.
No panic, no overreactions, just steady, controlled pressure. High guard up, moving forward with purpose, like he knew exactly what was coming. The early rounds felt intense Ryan, showing bursts of brilliance, while Barrios carefully controlled the pace, absorbing punches and adjusting, making every inch of the fight a challenge.
Ryan.
Congratulations to Ryan, man. No better way than to win a world title, welterweight, WBC, the one and only. Mauricio Suleiman, Jose Suleiman. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, man.
Were you surprised how dominant of a performance it was?
No, it's just depending on which Ryan you're gonna get, right? And we got the Ryan that everyone would like to see, King Ryan.
If we get that Ryan in a Devin Haney rematch, what happens?
Well, you can't put them guys in yet. We got me in division now. I'm going in that division, so we'll see.
Hey, La Jolla, Oscar, crazy fight, man. Ryan had his number. Talk to us about the fight. What did you see in that fight?
Yeah, I saw a composed Ryan. I saw a focused Ryan. You know, I saw a Ryan that knew he had to win. You know, so therefore we saw a complete Ryan. We saw a Ryan that was well trained, that was determined to win that world title. And you know, at times, you know, when you throw those combinations and he lands, he was getting a little reckless. So it's like, hey, just get your composure, go back to your jab, have fun. That's exactly what he was doing.
As the round went on, the energy kept shifting. One moment, crowd erupted at Ryan's explosive combinations. The next, Mario slowed things down, turned the fight into a tough physical battle that forced close exchanges instead of flashy moments.
I was gonna say he did call out, you know, the man that you just faced, Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
If that fight plays out, knowing Shakur, knowing his style, just what happens if Ryan faces Shakur?
No, la jodida. Sí. Habla con él. Cuando quiera. Sí, okay. Yeah?
What happens if this Ryan rematches Devin at welterweight?
Hey, man. Victor Conte ain't here, man. Got rest of cells, so we'll see where that goes.
Thank you, Tio.
I saw you yelling, jab, jab,
Yeah,
jab.
that's the key, man.
You know,
the jab is the key for every fighter. I mean, it's I would love to see more jabs in the game today, but once those fighters throw jabs, double, triple jab, there's no way of blocking them. Then you follow up with your combinations, then go back to the jab. You know, it's a thinking man's game.
You can see the mental battle unfolding in real-time urgency, clashing with calm, momentum battling structure. There were moments when Ryan's speed electrified the arena, and moments when Barrios' toughness and timing quietly took control of the fight.
I don't know. That's for you guys to say. I mean, I'm always going to love the Luke Campbell one. That's like one that's always sticked in my heart that I had to fight through, got knocked down, was dazed. So that was always going to be up there for me, but this was my most mature performance for sure. And my speed was on point, my jab was on point. A lot of things were on point. I mean, I pretty much did what I was doing in camp. Just to everybody, just like staying. I realized like I'm really faster than everybody. Why am I even like moving? I could just stay right there. Counter, 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 counter.
Neither fighter looked overwhelmed. Instead, they each showed their own way of controlling the ring. That's what made the fight so tense. It never stayed in one rhythm for long, just as it seemed one man was taking over. The other would shift the pace with sharp counters or non-stop pressure.
Man, it was a very, very dark time. It's like that passage in the Bible by David. He said, I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. That's what I felt like. You know, I was in a very dark place. Treating my body horrible, and it was hard to adjust to everything I had so quick.
By the championship rounds, it was no longer about hype press conferences or storylines. It was about discipline, conditioning, and staying mentally strong under pressure. This was a high-stakes fight where bursts of brilliance met relentless consistency and the kind of performance that gets people debating the moment the final bell rings.
You know, I lost myself. You know, trying to fight for something, and I lost my mind to it, you know, because I was screaming it out loud, oh, they're doing this, and I felt attacked for saying the things I did, and I felt a lot of spiritual attacks, and I lost it, you know, but God had a plan for me, and He brought me back and restored me, and that's all I did. That's all I can say about that.
And when the final bell rang, leaving that lingering tension in the air, you could almost picture Oscar de la Hoya stepping in with that mix of promoter and legend insight. He watched the fight like a master of both psychology and performance, leaning back, half impressed, half calculating, and say this was exactly the kind of fight where adrenaline, nerves, and intention show themselves under the lights. Not in interviews, not in training, but in those gritty mid-round moments where composure is tested with every punch. You could imagine him noting how Ryan, sharper and more focused than ever, showed flashes of the dangerous explosiveness he had hinted at all camp, while also recognizing that Barrios' confidence and championship experience made this far from a one-sided battle.
Great fight. Amazing fight, actually. Probably one of the best fights that we've seen in terms of just emotion, you know, in terms of just the whole build-up and the hoopla. And it was a great fight. And what I'm proud of, actually, I have to say this, is that I got two young fighters in their prime inside one ring in New York, and the world was watching. That never happens.
And that's such a classic Oscar read. He doesn't just focus on speed or power, watches how minds shift under pressure. He'd probably remind everyone that motivation is a key factor. Tonight, you could see hunger in both fighters, just in very different ways. One explosive, emotional, and urgent. The other calm, stubborn, and strategically disciplined. Then he dropped that subtle line about durability, the kind where he nods and says, when a champion gets hit and keeps coming, that changes the whole fight. Without actually saying who was in control, with the momentum swinging back and forth. Oscar's reaction wouldn't sound like celebration or criticism. It would sound like fascination alleging watching two mentalities collide. Not just two styles smiling slightly. Knowing the real story of the fight isn't just a result, but what both fighters revealed about themselves when the pressure was at its peak.
After the first knockdown, because I noticed when Ryan would turn and do the shoulder roll,
you know what it is?
He would just swing and
he was getting
discouraged.
discouraged. He was getting discouraged. And that can wear you out as well.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, it can discourage you and it can get you tired.
Yeah.
And that's what was happening. I mean, Ryan's a big kid. Weighed in 140, probably was 160.
Yeah.
So we had two big guys up there, you know, so the difference was Ryan Garcia is a puncher.
And that calm, analytical Oscar-style reflection instantly shifts when you picture Eddie Hearn reacting. Now, the energy changes from thoughtful analysis to sharp, business-driven excitement. Eddie wouldn't be sitting quietly unpacking lessons to be pacing, eyes wide, talk about drama, big moments, and the value of every second, like he just witnessed a financial thriller disguised as a boxing match. You could almost hear him saying this fight had it all. Tension swings, momentum flips, psychological battles in the middle of rounds. Neither fighter let the story settle for more than a few seconds. And that's what he'd focus on unpredictability. He'd point out how Ryan's sudden bursts of speed created moments of real danger that electrified the entire arena.
You know, we saw behind closed doors that kind of atmosphere definitely has an effect on performance.
Right.
But you know you know what to expect. And I just feel like, you know, I was actually quite not disappointed. I was quite upset that Ryan didn't perform, because I was really pleased for him that he turned his life around. Like, you know, to see him on that Devin Haney fight week, the difference between that and seeing him here on Fight Week, he looked great. Like, his face looked fresh again, great looking kid. And I was thinking, wow.
At the same time, he praised Barrios' composure, durability, and ability to stay mentally strong when the pace got chaotic. That's classic Eddie energy hyping the explosive moment while respecting structure. Then he'd shift to the business side, calling it a massive spectacle without committing to truly control the fight. From a promoter's perspective, sustained tension is more valuable than a clean outcome. He'd probably joke about how every time it seemed one fighter was about to take full control, other would immediately respond, keeping the emotional energy of the fight in constant balance. Not dominance, not collapse, just high-stakes equilibrium. In the way he'd frame it, this wouldn't be a simple win or lose story. It would be a career-defining performance for both fighters. The kind of fight that raises their stock, sparks rematch talk, and leaves the boxing world debating even louder after the final bell than during the match itself.
Just your reaction, man. I can't believe it.
I mean, I said, this kind of environment, like, sometimes it can just, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
Flabbergasted?
You know, tonight was going to be those two in the ring facing off for the big rematch.
It's done?
As Eddie's promoter-style analysis fades, the focus shifts into pure technician mode when you imagine Chris Algieri breaking down the fight. Now it's less about drama and more about the small details that casual fans might miss. You could picture him leaning back, squinting at the replay, and immediately talking about how the tempo was constantly disrupted. This was never a fight with a clean, steady rhythm. One moment, Ryan's speed seemed to control the exchanges. The next, Barrios' physicality slowed things down, creating a tug-of-war that showed both camps executed parts of their game plan without ever fully dominating. Algieri would likely highlight how the jab exchanges quietly influence momentum swings, not just the flashy moments that end up on social media clips.
Shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough, man. He just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. He did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep the emotion.
You could almost hear him saying, look at the feet, look at the spacing. In some rounds, positioning mattered more than pure offense, and that's where it gets really fascinating. Ryan delivered bursts that were sharp, explosive, and unpredictable like sudden lightning strikes. Barrios, on the other hand, applied steady pressure with subtle adjustments, showing the kind of patience that forces an opponent to work every second instead of coasting. Algieri would probably highlight the chess-like element of the fight, noting how durability and composure kept the tension high deep into the later rounds, because neither fighter mentally folded when things got uncomfortable. From a conditioning perspective, this wasn't a one-sided battle. It was two different different engines operating at different intervals. One built for speed surges, the other for sustained output. Technically messy at times, but strategically fascinating throughout. A fight analyst rewatched multiple times, while fans argue about it just once.
And during the PPV.com live chat, I mean, Barrios fighting with zero swagger, with no attitude. Like, it's just wasn't selling anything he was doing. He did a lot of good work,
Right.
but it was like you had to be really, really watching to see him do it. He was able to, to fight at that level. But I think, Barrios is definitely gonna want the fight. It's money. It's a big money opportunity.
Technical breakdowns and footwork diagrams are interesting, but now the emotional side takes over. Imagine Henry Garcia reacting after the fight not as an analyst, but as a father and trainer, full of pride, focus, and quiet relief. He'd probably start by talking about discipline rather than highlights, emphasizing how every sacrifice in camp paid off under the lights. You can almost picture him replaying specific rounds in his head, not just looking at the final result. There's a tone in his reflection like, I saw the focus, I saw the maturity, which says more than any scorecard ever could. He wouldn't gush reckless slides, stay grounded, pointing out adjustments, composure under pressure, intense exchanges, and those moments where Ryan didn't rush, even when older versions of him might have.
But I tell everybody, and they don't listen, they're stupid, okay? My son hits you, you're done.
Yeah, man.
You're fucking done. But they're stupid, okay? And that's what they get. That's what everybody gets. All the haters, Paula Malignaggi, he's stupid. Porter, all those, Algieri, he's a piece of and even Timothy Bradley, they're all pieces of
What'd you think of that judge that scored it a draw?
That's up.
Yeah, right?
He was
Four
kicking
knockdowns?
four
Was it four?
knockdowns, yeah.
Jeez.
And a draw, give me the
That contrast alone would sound like a proud coach watching growth in real time, not just punches being thrown. At the same time, Henry would absolutely give Barrios credit calling him tough, durable, and mentally stubborn in the ring. The kind of opponent who forces honesty out of a fighter, whether they like it or not. You can almost hear Henry praising the discipline on both sides, while subtly showing how sharp preparation meets real resistance. No wild celebrations, no dramatic declarations, just controlled satisfaction, layered with that classic trainer mindset we can still get better. And honestly, that kind of reaction hits differently. It doesn't scream victory, it screams process validation, making the aftermath feel less like an ending and more like a checkpoint in a much longer story.
okay, for hating on my son. You're a piece of
Henry, how proud
okay?
are you?
I'm very proud. And I can't stand the people that went against him, but you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad you lost. I'm glad you lost a lot of money. I'm so glad. You gotta listen to me. I would tell people. I would text you. If my son hits that guy solid, he's either gonna wobble or get dropped. Did I lie?
You didn't. Garcia, what were your...
He's totally focused. He'll drop down to 140, but honestly, he's 147.
When you step back and look at all these perspectives, fight stops feeling like a simple win or lose story and starts looking more like a psychological case study under stadium lights. A burst of speed colliding with disciplined pressure, emotional surges clashing with championship composure, momentum swinging so often that the fight refused to settle into a single narrative. The post-fight voices we imagined each focused on a different truth. Oscar highlighting mentality, Eddie emphasizing spectacle, Algieri breaking down tempo and spacing, Henry zeroing in on growth and discipline. That alone shows how layered this performance really was. This wasn't a story of clear domination. It was a story of tension, where flashes of brilliance were checked by durability, and steady structure was disrupted by sudden explosiveness. One fighter revealed urgency, hunger, and sharp offensive bursts. The other showed resilience, patience, and that champion-level refusal to mentally break when momentum shifted. That combination is exactly why the final bell didn't feel like closure, it felt like ignition for debates. Not about who landed the most punches, but about who truly controlled the fight when it mattered most. In matches like this, perception, rhythm, control, and mental stability matter just as much as raw output. I'm genuinely curious, where do you stand on this one? Did the explosive speed and sudden momentum swings leave the bigger impression? Or did the composure, pressure, and consistency quietly shape the fight more than most people realize? Drop your take in the comments. What need to really debate this breakdown.